Hi guys, welcome to Talking Gold here at Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds with Rick Davis, Sunshine Siler, and we are about to start talking some gold and silver because it is up.
Yep, one of the best weeks we've had in several weeks. Gold hit $2,000 an ounce this week. It went over 2,000. It was $2,006, I think, is what I seen one day. But prices of gold is up, silver's up. Unfortunately, interest rates are up too. My house
We're
payment.
feeling that everywhere, aren't we?
My house keeps doubling and doubling and doubling. Got to get that fixed. But seriously, it's time to buy some gold and silver. It's time to get your portfolio looking right. Unfortunately, interest rates are up also, so it's time you've got to start putting up gold and silver, whether it be a tenth of an ounce, a half ounce, an ounce. You can buy multiple ounces of silver. You can buy any amount you want, but understand that people are pulling money out of their banks, their 401ks. They're trying to get serious about this thing because the fractional currency is coming. It's going to be federally backed. It's going to be federally bit, and it's going to be referred to as Fed bit. So, we've got to be ready for this. That's when your banks fail, when everything else goes crazy. It's just a bad situation, and it's coming.
It's a weird time we're living in.
It is. It's nobody. We've never seen anything like this before. My mom and dad used to talk about things, and I'd listen and think they didn't know what they was talking about as I was growing up, of course. But they did know what they was talking about. They've lived through the Depression. They've lived through hard times and banks failing and everything else. And as you go through all that, you kind of know what to expect. But we're in times now that we don't know what to expect. We the people, we the American people, we don't know what to expect. We're trying to safeguard every way we look and go. We're trying to protect our money and our future. And at the same time, we don't really know if we're making the right decisions. We think we are. We hope we are. We pray that we are. But, for a fact, we don't know what's coming next. So you've got to be ready for it. You can't put all your eggs in one basket. Silver is good if you have a small investment, you need to get some gas money and a loaf of bread and some groceries, you can take an ounce of silver. If you need to do something on a roof repair, an automobile repair, you need to take an ounce of gold or a couple ounces of gold. But it makes your life a lot easier if you will just watch. And that is the way of the future, is bullion will save you when nothing else will. And I think I've preached enough about it, but every day I see it coming across my desk. And it's not anything complicated. It's simple math, but it's still, somebody's got to sit down with you and tell you and explain how it works and what to watch and what the pitfalls are. There's certain things that'll hurt you. And if you watch these things, you won't let them hurt you. You know what's coming, you understand how it works, but just beware. You've got to make do with what you have to do with, and make hay when the sun shines. And right now the sun's shining, the markets are doing great, but we don't know how long that's going to last. So come in and sit down with me, and let's get a plan going. Let's get something going that you can protect your future with.
And in the meantime, still buying scrap gold and silver, so clean out that jewelry box, stuff that you're not using. Gold and silver.
A lot of people are bringing in their scrap.
Oh yeah, we're seeing it all day, every day, but silver and gold are up, so your scrap prices are, if you have something that you're not using, that's money in your pocket. So
that lady today brought in a chain today. You remember the big chain that come across? And she got $1,100 for that chain. She just looked at me and she said, "How much gold is that buying?" I said, "Maybe a half ounce and get a little money back." But she was tickled, and that's what she done. She got a half ounce of gold, half ounce gold American Eagle. And she got it, she took it in exchange. I think she got $105 back in cash. And she said, I'm gonna go put gas in my car and I'll put the rest in my bank.
Yeah,
You know,
there you
but-
go. I mean, it starts to add up, and I mean, with, again, the interest rates, groceries, gas, everything is just out of control right now. So if you can put a little bit extra in your pocket for something that you're not using, that just
Yeah.
makes total sense.
Well, it's, you know, I mean, you and I talk about it sometimes, but we try to guide people in the right direction. And I mean, I wouldn't dare tell somebody to do something that I felt like was wrong.
Right.
And I try to guide them and tell them, and sometimes they listen, sometimes they don't, you know. But in most cases, I have people that come in and say, thank you. You know, you told me to do this,
Yeah,
I've
now they
done
know what
that,
they're
and
talking about. Yeah.
I'm good with it, you
Yeah,
know.
they know what they have, they
Yeah.
know what they're talking about, they know what they need to ask for. You know, when we can't pay those crazy prices because they've already been to the mall and bought this for an outrageous markup.
Well,
And
you know.
unfortunately, it is what it is, but there are other avenues, and that's what's awesome, is we
Sure.
will tell you if there are other avenues that you need to go to get
Well,
the best bang for your buck.
Put it
then
this way, I'll give you my opinion and then you make
there
up
you
your
go.
mind.
Exactly.
Because that's, you know, that's all any of us have is an opinion. And sometimes it's right, sometimes it's on the right path, and sometimes it's so far on the left side that it's not even reality, so. And people believe those things. I mean, just because they've heard that all their life.
So dangerous.
Yeah, yeah.
How many
Rumors
times do we
can
hear
be
that?
dangerous,
Oh my
yeah.
goodness, the internet. You have to be careful with stuff like that. The things that you see about coins, about certain stones, about different things.
Well,
like
what
that.
do we
You have to
hear
be
all the
really
time?
careful.
I seen this
All
on
day,
the
every day.
internet.
All
I
day,
seen
every
this
day.
on the internet. That's the most,
Well, and
I
then
hate
what
to hear those
happens-
words.
Okay, especially about the coins. So they tell you this penny is worth
$1 million penny, yeah.
$70,000, and then they charge you an outrageous amount to ship it to them, and you never hear anything from
That's
them
right.
again. And they already have your credit card info, your address. I mean, all kinds of scams out there that you really have to be careful of, and we hear it all day, every day.
The fun one today or this afternoon at closing was a lady brought in a sewing machine, a Singer sewing machine from 1956. And I said, well, I'm interested in it. I'd like to look at it. And knowing that you wanted to do a little sewing and some things.
I
And,
did love my Singer.
and I said, well, yeah, bring it in. Let's look at it. She brought it in and I looked at it and I said, well, what are you thinking? What do you want? Oh, $2,000. What? $2,000. I know that this sewing machine was worth $100 at best. At very best, it was worth $100.
I never paid more
And
than
she
$100 for
and
a
they was so
Singer back in the
sincere,
90s.
but they seen it on the internet at $2,000, and a cheap one was $1,500, and she thought that's what it was worth. And I said, oh my God, I can't help you. And she said, well, I'll look around, and okay, look all day, but it ain't gonna bring $2,000, But I just get a kick out of some of those people that just.
Well, it also kind of breaks your heart at the same time because
Well,
they
yeah.
go for this stuff, and
But they think they see it on the internet at some
Right.
price, and
Then
that's got to be the Bible
God's
that's in
word.
print.
Yeah.
It's-
No.
But that don't happen very often, and it's most people are trying to be reasonable with it. But some of the ones that shopped it on the internet and stuff,
They
it
think
just
the internet is the end
yeah,
all the be
yeah,
all, and
yeah, they
unfortunately
do.
that's not the case. But that's bring your stuff in. I also have been telling a lot of people, do not throw it out until you have it checked, because we have a lot of people that probably actually threw away a lot of gold and
Yep,
silver
yep.
thinking.
Didn't
what
think it
they
was
read
any
on the
good,
internet.
yeah.
Yeah, and it was probably good, and they could have made some money off of it. So, always have it checked before you throw it
Oh,
out.
check everything. Yeah, that's
Exactly.
that's
I'm
the
more than
first
happy to
rule.
go through it. If it's all junk, that doesn't matter. Let us go through it and make sure.
Every time we
before you
get
toss it.
a big bowl or big basket
Big
of
bag,
some
big
stuff,
totes.
every time we get one of those, though,
We
we
go
will
through
find a
every
little
piece.
bit of
Sometimes-
gold in it,
yes,
real
we
gold,
typically
good
do.
gold,
We
14
typically
karat,
do.
18 karat.
Yeah.
Sometimes they bring in 18 and 22 karat, and it looks fake, and they
But
think
you
it
have
looks
to
fake,
check
and
it.
it's not. That's the most
gotta check
expensive
it.
gold you can get,
Exactly.
and
But
it's
if you're not looking at it every day, if you haven't been born into this
yeah.
business, you don't know. And
you
so
can grow
always
into
have
this
it.
business.
I was born into this
No,
business.
no,
but
I
if
grew
you-
into it. I didn't
Oh,
know
yeah.
anything about jewelry,
Yeah.
nothing,
Yeah.
and learned it in just over 47 years. But
And after 38, I'm still learning.
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
you know,
and you'll keep
always
learning.
Have it checked out. Always have it checked out before you toss it. So.
You know, let's tell them some things about diamonds, and let's go to a commercial break, and then when we come back, we'll get some diamonds 101.
After
Yeah.
Commercial break. We'll be right back with you guys.
It's Friday. The earth trembles. The sky grows dark. My King yields his spirit. It's Friday. Hope is lost. Death has won. Sin has conquered. And Satan's just a laughing. It's Friday. Jesus is buried. A soldier stands guard, and a rock is rolled into place. But it's Friday. It is only Friday. Sunday is a coming.
Ladies and gentlemen, every time you turn on the news, you're hearing about new things that's going on with the stock market, the failing banks, things that's going on. You can't stop these things, so you've got to protect yourself. Come in and sit down with me for 15 minutes and just let me explain what you can do, how you can protect yourself. I'll spend my time showing you how. If you want to make the investment, great. If you don't, at least you're ahead of the game a little bit. Come in and sit down with me. Thank you, and God bless. Hi, Rick Davis here. Easter's a very special time of the year for all of us here at Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds. We'd like to thank you for being part of our family. Hope to invite you to come in and see us. Thank you, and God bless.
And welcome back to Talking Gold. Again, we were talking about gold being up, silver being up. Also, we did not mention our financing. We still have the 90 days, same as cash, no money down. So if you want to come in and check out and see if we can get you qualified, you can take your merchandise that day with the financing.
That's with approved credit.
Right.
You know,
if it doesn't work out,
we try our best to get you in.
Right. Sure. And we still have our layaway program. So that again is 90 days, but there is a down payment. So either way, we have options for you to be able to come in. We have a lot of holidays coming. Mother's Day is coming up.
Father's Day.
Yeah.
Daddy Day.
Daddy Day.
We get ties and cologne.
Or we have watches, ring. I mean, there's plenty that we have. Also, you have your grads coming up. Graduation season is right upon us.
Yeah.
What else do we have?
June brides.
June brides.
God, one of the biggest ones. We hadn't even talked about that.
Well, this even happened to us last year. June brides started in February, and it is again this year. So
that's also. June brides kind of last June, July, August, and then they go into a fall year or Christmas brides.
It's starting earlier every year, it feels like, at least the last few years.
And Christmas is starting slower and slower every year. This last Christmas, a 10-day Christmas, just like the last 3 years. You know? Yeah. Boom, 10 days, it's great, and then when it goes away, it's done, and Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day, so, have mercy.
Yeah, you got to remember that. I love Valentine's Day.
But yeah, we have moms, dads, grads, all that stuff coming up over the next few months. So definitely make sure you're coming in, checking out the financing option, checking out layaway, or seeing what we... Bullion's also, which is also a great graduation present.
A graduation present. You could buy them an ounce of gold, a half ounce, a quarter ounce, or a tenth of an ounce. And, you know, a tenth of an ounce sells for $230, $240. Half ounce is around $1,000 now. A 1 ounce is around $2,000. So you know, you can set your sights on what you want to give that grad.
Exactly. Yep.
And gold is a great
And it's
thing.
money, money,
you know.
money.
That's
So,
it.
and hey, when you're a grad going out, you know, getting ready for college, or your college graduates trying to get out in the world and make it or break it,
Make
you know,
your- make your
sometimes
way,
it's
yeah,
feeling a little more
yeah.
breaking than it is making, but you'll get there. And sometimes that can be a little, you
Never
know, a
let
little
'em-
step
Never let
up.
them see you sweat.
There you
Just
go. There you go.
Keep it all calm and ease along and never quit.
Yeah. Hey, you made it this far, so
Work, 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 work,
yeah,
work, and it
it's
pays
just-
off.
It's a matter of time. It'll come
I
to
see
you.
people come in today, and I'm so impressed with them sometimes. They'll sit down at my desk and they want to talk about what they want to do with gold and silver. And, you know, some of them are 10,000, 20,000. Good,
But the
good
young
deals.
people who are making
I
sure
have
that
people
they,
come in sometimes and sit down at my desk and they say, well, I've got $400,000 put up. You're kidding. You know, I mean, it just surprises me, and I don't know why I'm so surprised with it, but you know, they
youngsters,
put up
they're
good
doing
money their entire life. They've, you know, the man that come in one time and he had $560 something he wanted to spend, and I said, well, why are you spending it? He said, well, I just want to get started. And deeper in the conversation, we got into it, and he had $321,000 that he had saved, but he didn't want to spend it all at once. He wanted to buy
Figure it out
$300 or
first, yeah.
$400, you know, and get comfortable with it.
yeah,
And I understand that. Above
That's
all,
the idea,
I
yeah.
understand that. You know, if you don't believe in it and trust in it, you've got to get comfortable with it before you'll go and put more good money in
yeah,
it.
for sure.
But it's helping bail out a lot of banks. It's helping bail out a lot of people. It's helping get bills down and paid off. A lady today, she wanted to buy $1,000 worth of gold, and the reason she was starting with that is she owed $890 on something, and she wanted to get enough gold that she could go down and pay it off with that and have money left over.
Yeah.
And this was somewhere in Florida, but she was coming back up here and then going to keep investing in it. So, you know, it all makes sense when you look at the big picture.
Yeah, and everybody's situation is different. You know, you
Yeah.
have some
Oh,
that
yeah.
have a little, you have some that have a lot, and you know, trying to make decisions, kind of going on what's happening with the markets, with the
Yeah,
government,
yeah.
with the banks, everything like
Definitely is.
that. You know, but that's why you need to come in, sit down, you guys talk about it, and figure out what works best for you. So,
Spend some time and give it some planning, and I'll help you with what I know, and then, you know, we'll work through this thing together.
there you
You know,
go.
that's all we can ask.
Yep, that's it. All right, and I think we need to do another commercial break real quick, so we'll be right back with you guys with Talking Gold.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time is now. It's time to protect your future. It's time to protect your investments. It's time with the banks failing and things that's going on. We don't know what step to take next, but I'll help guide you. I'll show you the best way I know. I've been doing it 47 years. Come in and see me. I'll take my time. I'll make sure you understand the markets, and hopefully I can show you how to protect your future. Thank you, and God bless.
Okay, so we were talking about graduation gifts. I graduated 20 years ago, and actually my graduation gift was, Brian, our producer, brought this up. I did get a stereo installed in my car in 2003 for my graduation gift, and it probably ran my dad about right around $400 or so. Just your standard, you know, in my Cavalier, love that car, stereo system
Stereo
for about $400
$400
or so. How much gold would that buy you back in 2003? About
an ounce.
an ounce.
An
And
ounce
how much
ago.
is an ounce now?
$363 in 2003.
In 2003.
And now it's, call it $2,000, $1,985. So, yeah.
That's incredible.
So you'd have made money instead of having something that was, you know, you probably hadn't had that
Hey, I
car
love
in
that
10
stereo
years.
and I love that car.
Yeah, but you hadn't had it in 10 years, have you?
Oh, no. Yeah, no.
Been gone, been
long
long
time.
gone.
Long time.
So if you'd have had an ounce of gold on a necklace and wearing it all these years,
I could have bought the car to replace it,
Probably.
or at least a
there you
decent
go.
down payment on it.
Payment.
Because that's when I had to go bigger because, you know, kids.
You know, come to think of it, when I turned 16, my car cost $350. And if I still had it today, it wouldn't run. It'd have the windows broke out of it. It'd have cats living under the hood. That's funny. $350 a car. Now they're what, 30,000?
What kind of car do you have?
A Pontiac.
Do they make Pontiacs anymore?
They make them anymore? Yeah.
You sure about
Fred Flintstone used to drive one. Gosh.
My first car was a Chevy Cavalier, brand new, and
oh, mine was wore out.
my daddy, he did for my I got that my 16th birthday, and then my graduation present.
15,000, 12, 15,000.
Oh, probably not even that much. It's a Cavalier, but brand new.
Yeah.
His name was Nick because he was nickel silver, and then for my graduation, he put a $400 stereo system in there for me.
Well,
Yeah.
Aren't you special?
And heck, he knew gold. He should have been buying me gold. But no, I love that car and my stereo. But it makes sense, you know, especially for kids, you know, when they graduate, trying to start out on the new chapter of their life. That's a nice little hidey hole to have, you know, when times get tough and stuff, because it's hard after, you know, trying to get out in the workforce for the first time. You just got your degree. You probably have some debt. You know, that's a big deal.
She's making me feel old.
No, I'm also more thinking about, I have 2 children about to go to college, and so I'm more thinking, oh, have mercy. I'm about to be in a lot of debt, and gold is probably where I need to be setting them up at, which they have a little bit they don't know about. So Diamonds 101, which you guys actually did 11 years ago?
About 13 years
About 13 years ago. So kind of revamped it, and it's super educational, especially when you have not been.
Well, it was a very interesting show because we got such a large response out of it when we done the first one.
Yeah.
And actually people were learning about diamonds watching this show.
Yeah.
And we had one kid that come in that was 11 years old, and he could quote you every color grade, every quality, every look.
He could tell you the girdle, the quick,
yeah. Tell you everything about a diamond just from watching that one show.
Yeah.
So,
it is. It's very informative. I mean, even being born into the business, I learned. I learned more from Diamonds 101.
Exactly as informative, but it goes a couple steps further. Instead of being written on little 3x5 cards and little cheat sheets and all that, Brian actually took it into a program and put all the graphics on it and everything about it.
Got fancy dancy with
Tabletop, the Hewlett, the facet junctions, and how it all works and how it plays in the big picture. So it will educate you, and it'll give you some knowledge. If you have never heard the old cliche, you don't buy a diamond mounted, you buy a diamond loose, so you can look at the girdle all the way around it, all the facet junctions, all the spots and imperfections that's in a diamond, so you can see all that. And then once it goes in the mounting, it may hide some of that. If it's a good mounting, it'll hide some of the imperfections, but you don't want them hid when you're buying it. You want to know exactly what you're buying. So all these things work together to make you a smarter buyer, not us, not anything to hurt you with any of the big jewelry stores, the big farm stores, big box stores. You can get any of it, but it makes you a sharper buyer. It makes you understand what you're really getting and what you're paying for. And don't be, there's some stores that won't even hand you a loop. They'll tell you that, you know, they don't have loops in there. Well, if you don't have a loop and you know how to use a loop to look at a diamond, you cannot make an educated guess or you can't
know
even get
what you're
close.
putting your money toward. And
I mean, it's just, the facts won't lie to you. They'll steer you right every time. And just stay on it, you know. Stay on it, study it a little bit, and get to know what you're looking for, and it'll help you every time.
For sure, for sure.
And,
again, knowing where your money's going, what you know, because it's
this,
all kind of still an investment, you know.
Well,
it's not,
and, you know,
you're not going to get money back on it, but
right.
you want to make sure that it is something
But if you're getting
getting
married,
what you pay for.
you want to get what you pay for. Yeah, I've had people come in and they have something that they paid $10,000 for, and they find out its real value's $2,000.
And it breaks our hearts
And
every time.
they're just coming unglued. You know, my husband bought this for me, and he paid this, and I was right there with him and watched him do it, and it was the happiest day of my life. And now we need money, and we can't get but $2,000 out of.
A $10,000
And then when you
piece,
explain that to them and they understand it, then it's heartbreaking. I mean,
Yeah.
and I hate to see it because I hate to see people lose that kind of money, but you can't sell it. I mean, you can't take a $10,000 ring out from the mall and go somewhere and get 10,000 out of it. You're going to get 2,000, 2,500, maybe $3,000 if you're a sharp buyer. So, you know, all that works against you, and after you've been burned 2 or 3 times, you figure out that you need to be a smarter buyer, and that's what we try to help you do is, you know, we try to guide you through those things.
Yep.
But that's what Diamonds 101 is
That's
all
also why
about.
we keep our markup so low,
That's
because it is highway robbery out there sometimes.
Well, I
but
just don't want to ever be accused of gouging and
No.
overcharging, and you know, sometimes people think I'm crazy, but I'd rather do a deal and somebody be happy with it if I don't make but $300 or $400 on a $2,000 purchase. That makes me happy, you know, because I've took care of them, my
Right.
customers, and back and forth.
They have what they want and they save
Yeah.
thousands.
Yeah.
And
they
yeah.
come back year after
Oh, yeah.
year after year. So.
Oh yes. New store hours.
Summer hours. Boy,
We-
I'm happy. 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
We are closing
close.
at 5. We're still here Saturdays 10 to 3. So 10 to 5 Monday through Friday, 10 to 3 on Saturdays. And
we're closed on Sunday.
Sundays, enjoy your woo-saw time.
Enjoy your family. Yes.
There you go. Also, don't forget the financing that we have going on. Layaway, your moms, dads, grads, everything's coming up. Bridal
Scrap
season
gold,
is still
turn into
yes,
cash,
yes,
bullion,
yes,
buy bullion, buy bullion, buy bullion.
yes. Yep, definitely. So you guys
Have I
come
said
and see
buy
us.
bullion yet?
So definitely come see us with any of your questions, any of your scrap. We are here to serve. So thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Thank you. God bless.